Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast of the Total Nonstop Racing League here at Richmond Raceway. Joining me in the booth, as always, is Joe Annunziata. I am Bob Giaquinto. And Joe, tonight's race at Richmond, the action track, is absolutely going to live up to its name for the Tax Smarter Accounting 160 here at Richmond.
Absolutely. I've been watching these guys practice. It looks like we are going to have a really, really fun race.
That is for sure. The big caution corners, if you will, are going to be the exit of turn 2 and the exit of turn 4. The way this track always kind of happens to be is things get a little slidey on corner exit, especially if you're a little too excited to get on the gas. So it's going to be interesting to see how things like that play out as this 160 lap race continues. But before that, we have to qualify. And what better do that than to jump on board with the number 81 Bush machine of Martin Plute to take a look at a lap here around Richmond Raceway. So Plute gonna run the top side to get himself a good run into turn 1. And this is one of those tracks that it's deceptive getting into the corner. You're gonna see him drive in, you almost brake a lot earlier than you think you should. But that's really the best way to get around this track. Again, hard on the brakes. We want to wrap the bottom, get those left sides right around that yellow line. Get on the gas quick enough and across the line. Martin Plute going to go out first with a lap time of 22.80. Philip Scott again putting in a fast lap. And as of right now, it looks like only a handful of our top 5 drivers are out on the track for tonight. Philip Scott, Ethan Amberg is out there. But we are missing Adam Boislard as well as Matt Schlosser, and neither of them are out on the track.
As you predicted, lots of chaos in turn 2.
Yeah, just a little bit of a slide there for the 35 of Robert Tripp. As here is the 16 of Tyler Cadd putting in time. So far, 17th on the board. 25.114 lap time. Cadd's second lap, 23 flat. That'll bump him up to 9th. But so far, Justin Melillo goes P3 on the chart with a 22.79. And now this is the time where drivers are going to obviously attempt... Oh, Ryan Shelton meets the business end of the pit road.
Maybe he was trying to see what happened with the crash test dummy commercials.
Just practicing things.
Seatbelts work.
Oh, man, the 52 of Jeff Dillon with a hard lick. Same goes for the 28 of Jamar Dumas. Adam Boislard in the chat says, work calls tonight. Sad to be missing out one of my favorite tracks, but I'll be back for New Hampshire. As Bryce Hedgecock goes for a spin through the front stretch.
At the lawn early.
One of my favorite things is watching these cars. When you're on the gas, the front end picks up and then it slams down to the ground as you're braking. It's a little more obvious heading into turn 3. But man, that is so cool seeing. I used to love watching the cars do it back in the late 2000s. As, whoa, Jamar Dumas. Hang on. As the 28 makes his way around, there's Ryan Shelton. Recovers from hitting the sand barrels and puts himself P3 at the moment.
Good to know the helmets work.
The car is safe, and the crew just says, we'll pick up a new one. It'll be fine. Oh, Shane Ewan going for a spin there. And again, the exits of the corners, if you just get on the gas a hair too much, around they go. So just a few seconds left here in qualifying. Everyone out just trying to get some good time. And if not get some good time, just get a little extra practice. Use this as basically a free practice session. And that practice can mean getting onto pit road, can mean running some weird lines, seeing what happens when you try to dive into the corner. So easy to spin out of these corners,
as we've seen so far.
So we're going to ballpark at about 40 laps on fuel here for tonight. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But Joe, let's take a quick look now at the starting lineup for tonight's Tax Smarter Accounting 160 here at Richmond Raceway. And on the pole for tonight will be the number 99 machine of Philip Scott with Ethan Amberg on his inside. Row number 2, we are going to see Ryan Shelton alongside Martin Plute. That is, if my starting grid would like to work, that would be absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, we get some new toys here. Sometimes there's, there is the little bit of bugs we have to work out. But there we go. On the outside of row number 2, we see Ryan Shelton alongside Martin Plute. Row number 3 is the 53 machine of Justin Malillo alongside Minazzi Major. Row number 4 is Jeff Dillon with Jamar Dumas on his outside, and rounding out the top 10 will be the 18 of Bryce Hedgecock alongside Shane Ewing.
Row number 6, we see Ace House and Tyler Cadd. Row 7, we have Brandon Buchwald and Scott Leonard. Row 8, we have Ray Payne Jr. and Nick Simpson. Row 9, we have Mark McFadden and Steve Bavacqua. Row 10, we have Robert Tripp and Tim Branson.
And
row 11, Matt Allen and Corey Hutchinson.
Stan Hausman and Jason Shu make up row number 12. And rounding out our 25-car field for this evening is the number 4 machine of Adam Stewart.
Got a nice gaggle of cars here.
Yeah, 25 cars out here on the action track. This is going to be an absolute blast. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching tonight's race. It's the Tax Smarter Accounting 160 here at Richmond Raceway. And Joe, I got to tell you about Tax Smarter Accounting. These guys are fantastic. They are a full-service accounting and tax company providing services to individuals, businesses, and nonprofits. They optimize your tax strategy to ensure you save on taxes. So make sure you contact them. Reach out to them at chutsontax@gmail.com, or you can give them a call, 941-208-2594. That's Tax Smarter Accounting. Give them some love because they are bringing tonight's race to you.
absolutely. Maybe we got to reach out to them for tabletop trio.
Yeah, you know, we're just talking a little bit there about about some accounting things for the podcast. So,
Yes. Can I or can I not make this dumb purchase? I ask you, accounting person.
yeah, can I, should I? Two very different things. But just with that, the green flag is out, and we are racing here at Richmond. A great fight so far. Good jump off of the line for Philip Scott. He's going to open up the gap about 1.5 to 2 car lengths. Meanwhile, a battle for second heating up between Ryan Shelton and Ethan Amberg.
Yeah, everybody came in real hot. Looked like the bottom row just got a better jump off.
Yeah, and that inside line typically will have a little better drive just because that's kind of depending on where the leader decides to go. That's usually where the grip is on the track with the rubber of cars coming out of the corner. So definitely a great jump there by the 99. Further back, we got a bit of a gaggle of cars just behind Jeff Dillon. That's Ace House to the inside of Bryce Hedgecock. Shane Ewing to the inside of Jamar Dumas. So far, Philip Scott puts the fastest lap up on the board at a 22.95. Side-by-side battles all throughout the racetrack. This one, Shane Ewing working on Ace House. A little bit further back, there's Tyler Cadd up on the outside. He and Ray Payne come together. A little bit of contact there, but no one worse for wear. As their Ace House battling it out with the 28 of Jamar Dumas.
So far, so good.
This here is a battle for 7th between Jeff Dillon and Bryce Hedgecock. Meanwhile, up front, Philip Scott trying to fend off the 54 of Ryan Shelton. Shelton started 3rd. Now he's trying to put the pressure on, rolling about half a lane higher than the 99. As this run goes on, the outside line will usually be a little bit better, but we're only really talking about where the 54 is, and he's going to go up to the top side early, try to make a pass around the outside. Philip Scott taking a peek to the inside, but we have a new leader for the moment as Philip Scott and Ryan Shelton both battle it out side by side.
And maybe it's just the colors. They're just meant to be up front together.
Yeah, you know, red, white, and blue cars. Might as well have a big old battle on our hands. So this battle has cooled off significantly. A little bit further back, Justin Melillo, Bryce Hedgecock side by side. Melillo decides to tuck in behind the rear bumper of the 18.
Looks
Action.
like Melillo is very different than what I watched with him during practice. I wonder if he was just trying to simulate his tire wear for later. I guess we'll see that he was sliding out a lot more during practice, basically like drifting the cars on the exits 2 and 4 like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, probably just trying to feel, all right, where's the edge of grip? All right, what can I save? What can I not save? If something were to happen, what can I do to not make that happen? and that sort of thing as well. Meanwhile, up front, Philip Scott starting to get a little more pressure there from the 14 of Ethan Amberg.
As you mentioned, you said they're averaging about 40 laps with these tires.
Yeah, about 40 laps on fuel. Tires will probably be somewhere in that ballpark as well. If we're saying 40, probably wind up going a little bit longer, say 60-ish, but 40 is probably going to be where they're going to want to come in and start thinking about pitting just because of tires. Looking at the track conditions right now, cloudy skies, air temp is 88. That track temp, though, 109 degrees. It's going to be slick. So not a whole lot of grip going on here for these guys.
Yeah, I'm following Martin Cluten. He's already starting to slide a little bit.
Yeah, certainly not ideal as well. Looks like Tim Branson just joining as he's going to hop into his car. So Branson going to be getting out into the car and joining on to the racetrack. So now Branson joins the field. However, he is going to be multiple laps down. 18 behind.
I wonder if he had a PC issue, because he did start the race.
Actually, you're right. Yeah, 4 laps behind is that number 92 car. And there is Branson just saying, all right, guys, go for it. Let me by.
Oh. As we have our first issue of the day. No yellow.
Yeah, it looks like Steve Bavacqua and Robert Tripp both have an incident. Looks like Jason Shu also slowing down. Let's take a look here at what caused this coming together. Oh, just a bad luck of, nope, not clear. But everyone was able to keep rolling. That's why there was no yellow.
Yeah, his front passenger tire is not looking in the ideal position.
Certainly not. As up front, Philip Scott taking a peek to the inside alongside the 54 of Ryan Shelton.
As you can see that graphic on the bottom just pinging back and forth as they exchange positions.
Yes. See, at the line, it's going to be Ryan Shelton. But I would assume Philip Scott going to peek his nose in right there, but Shelton's going to have a better drive out of the corner.
Meanwhile, Amber's like, hey, what you guys doing? Can I get in?
Hey, guys, this looks like fun. I'm going to... You mind if I join along? This looks like Tim Branson going to be taking some more repairs.
Yeah.
As he certainly has had not the best night. He actually had some pretty poor luck in the Speed Highline Diecast series as well this past Thursday. Was gifted a pretty good opportunity there, but iRacing glitched and never told him he could pit.
It's unfortunate.
So Tim Branson out on the track, but looks like he's been black flagged speeding on pit road. So this night just going from bad to worse. A little further back, there's Hedgecock and Plute fighting it out.
Yeah. Love tapping each other.
As now it looks like 18 versus 81. A new look for the 81. Was driving the St. Louis-inspired paint scheme. Now he's down to a Busch Outdoors paint scheme. New manufacturer for the 81 as well.
Looks awesome. I think it needs a coyote, but other than that, I'm here for it.
Jumping on board here with Philip Scott as you see that in front of them. The leaders are catching lapped traffic.
Yeah, they are absolutely cooking right now.
And right there, you can hear how gentle the 99 has been getting onto pit road, or getting onto the fuel, or the gas, rather. Just all about being smooth. Because the last thing he's going to want is to really spin the tires, cook them, and, you know, ruin a pretty good run that he's got going. Taking a look at the championship standings so far, Adam Boislard and Matt Schlosser have not started the race. We saw from Adam earlier that he is not able to make it tonight. But Ethan Amberg, the second in points, currently P3, and the top three are, well, they're top 5 in the standings.
In reverse order.
Not if Ethan Amberg has anything to say about it. He's putting the pressure on hard to Philip Scott. A little bit further back, Martin Plute going around the 36 of Steve Bevacqua. That's going to open the door now for Melillo to put the pressure on Hedgecock. Here comes Major and Dillon as well, putting their nose into this fight.
Yeah, Major having some rough luck last week. Good to see him up in the front.
Last couple of weeks too, even if you look back at Coronado Naval Base the week prior, had some issues, got into a few drivers and wound up wheel hopping and just kind of struggle bust a lot of the night. Hedgecock now putting the pressure on to the 81 of Plute. This 1881 fight has been phenomenal all race long.
We got Melillo right behind him.
So Melillo putting the pressure on these two. And I'm sure Hedgecock looking in the mirror, seeing that iRacing logo on in his rearview mirror saying, all right, let's get going. Come on.
Back and forth. Do I want the high line? Do I want the low line? Where am I at?
Yeah. One side feels a lot better and is faster. The other side is better on tires. But I think right now some of these drivers are saying, you know what, I could use some tires right now.
Yeah. I'd say that's Scott and Amberg at the moment are falling a half a second and almost a second behind, respectively.
And that's one of those where, you know, the best lap for drivers, 22.8, 22.9s, and they're already running 24.1s. So already almost over a second of fall off.
It's crazy what tires will do to you,
Right?
or not do, I guess, if in this case.
Yeah. Yeah, what tires will pretend to do. Some great battles throughout the field. A little bit further back, here's Stan Hausman putting the pressure on Nick Simpson, one of the Sloth Motorsport drivers. There goes Hausman to the inside of Simpson, side-by-side battle.
Looks like Stewart crashed, but I guess it was just him.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. As there is the 4 of Adam Stewart going into turn 1. And, little contact between he and Corey Hutchinson as they're able to keep it going. So no harm, no foul. Everyone's up and running again. And more importantly for that 4 car, he is still on the lead lap. Well, as I said, he gets passed to be 1 lap down.
So close.
Because, of course, it happens. Now Stewart running the top line, getting a good run out of the corner, but here comes Ethan Amberg to his inside, and he's just going to say, all right, guys, go for it. No use in fighting here. Another good battle here. Ace House to the top side. He's going to try to get around the 16 of Tyler Cadd. Can't quite get that move done.
So with this racetrack, 2 and 4 being a very difficult transition, where do you normally want to make your passes here? Is it on those 2 and 4s, or do you aim for 1 and 3?
Honestly, at this point, you probably want to try to at least set the pass up into 1. You know, maybe try to dive it in, or, you know, get on the back bumper of the guy in front and kind of, you know, push him up and out of the way. Or, you know, you kind of slow in, fast out, slow down the entry to turn 1 and get a good drive out of turn 2. But it all kind of depends on where you catch the guy, how you catch the guy, and how the other guy's car is running. So right now you see the 54 running a little bit wider line, the 99 and the 14 running a tighter to the bottom. And another thing, when we get back into the corner, take a look in the driver's window to see Philip Scott. Watch the hands of Philip Scott and see how he's sawing on the wheel like that. That car does not want to turn. So tires are certainly starting to play a bit of a factor there as Philip Scott gets a great drive into the corner. But again, the 54 a little slower in, gets a better line out of the corner. And it's just 2 different strategies that work well and kind of almost complement each other.
Absolutely.
So Philip Scott chucks it in one more time. As we ride on board with the number 54 machine. Lap car, the 22, Mark McFadden, moving over, letting the front drivers go around. And with that, Phillip had to adjust his line. He's been so used to running the bottom. You hear him had to get off the throttle there. As Brennan Buchwald hops onto pit road.
First taker, 50 laps.
Yeah, so 50 laps in, we're going to see now where everyone else decides to go. There is Buchwald around to the other side. 14.9 seconds. As Buchwald is down and away. So Buchwald, our first taker at lap 50. So I would almost assume, yep, here comes Jamar Dumas. So now we're starting our round of pit stops. So Jamar Dumas moves his way onto pit road. Crew goes around to the right-hand side. So 4 tires and fuel for the number 28 machine. Nick Simpson also, the 2 Sloth Motorsports drivers now climbing onto pit road. Great to see Nick racing. I believe this is his first start of the season.
You get to see him out there.
He, Jamar, myself, DJ McAteer as well as a couple other drivers ran the Spa 24 last month. Next month running the Brit Car 24 at Silverstone. So now Adam Stewart dives onto pit lane as well.
Love the new graphic there.
Yeah, very cool. Collateral Damage Sports Network are the folks who created these plugins, and man, they just look so cool. Just Malillo now on pit road. It really is. I mean, and the fact that we can, sit here and say, okay, Shelton running 130 miles an hour, watching him, but oh, here comes Phillip Scott taking a peek to the inside. In the middle of green flag pit stops.
This is interesting information. It looks like Shelton had the tire wear to stay in front, but seems like that is not the case.
Yeah, now Phillip is kind of all over. 54 may have ran the tires a little bit too hard, and now he's going to have to sit there and, kind of decide, all right, do I pit now or do I still try to run as long as possible? I don't see them being able to do a one-stop race. Yeah, crazier things have happened, but I don't see one-stop races being the case. Because they'd have to make it past lap 80, like you said, 20 more laps.
Which, could make sense if they weren't absolutely flying.
Yes.
They are not fuel saving.
Yeah, they are putting in 24.5-second laps. Last time by, almost identical lap times for the 99 and the 54s. Philip Scott does get around. He can't quite clear. As now Ryan Shelton powers back down to the outside, but Philip Scott to the inside. Oh, he washes up the track. No contact, but that is going to clear the 54.
And you gotta love the green flag racing.
And that's the thing. Green flag racing and clean racing at that.
Oh, and Amberg is back.
Yeah. From the depths of where did he come from? But he's been there the whole time. You know, Amberg just kind of back a little bit, watching the whole fight, letting his tires cool down, and then watching the 99 and the 54 fight it out like that. They're like, all right, time for me to jump in.
For a little bit there, he was like a second and change behind.
Yeah, and he's just slowly picking up the pace. Side by side yet again.
You know, maybe they will one-stop it.
I mean, with the way they're running now,
12 left.
maybe. As never mind that. It's trouble out on the racetrack. Robert Tripp goes around. And we have our first yellow of the evening. Let's take a look to see what happened. Tripp just got real sideways at it too. And around he went. So the field hustling to catch up to the pace car. And with that, everyone's going to dive onto pit road.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Who's the last person to pit? This is very unfortunate. I believe it's Ace House who like just left the pits. As you see our fancy new graphic here for the latest pit cycles. And out and around we go. looks like Ace House is going to get the wave around. Pit car is down. Green flag is out. Another yellow out. Ooh, big wreck. So Tim Branson and Ray Payne Jr.
There we go. Let's try that one again.
Welcome back.
Somehow my microphone muted itself and I did not touch the button.
We love to see it.
So not sure how much was missed.
Right before the caution.
Ah. Luckily not a whole lot of nuggets of wisdom there.
That's right. It's interesting it muted me as well, so.
Well, that's interesting.
Isn't it?
God, we love technology sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Salmon says,
upside.
welcome back. Thank you. Glad to be back.
On the upside, my lips are not numb anymore, so it's good news all around. It's weird to take a sip of water and then 5 seconds later take a sip of water with a completely different feeling.
Oh, that's got to be weird.
That's very weird.
So lights on the pace car are off. Ace House was given the lucky dog. So he will be back on the lead lap. Marking us 16 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, unfortunate for Branson, just all night.
Yeah, very tough sledding for that number 20 or 92 car. Out front, though, as the green flag flies, Philip Scott gets a great run. Interesting restart there. Everyone pinched up against that top, that outside retaining wall.
Yeah.
As, Ryan Shelton gets real sideways. He's able to corral a little bit further back. Stan Houseman fights alongside the 16 of Tyler Cadd. Big side-by-side battle here, this time for the 8th position. As our sponsor, Corey Hutchinson, a little bit further back behind him, watches on. Hutchinson getting worked on by Brandon Bookwald to the outside. As, a little bit further back, dual spins with the number 11 of Nick Simpson and the 22 of Mark McFadden. Both of them just a little slideways out of the corner.
Just seeing what the lawn's about.
Yeah, look at that. Just...
You know, if I didn't see it, I would have assumed they did it as like a cool drift maneuver.
I mean, that and the fact that it's the 11 car and the 22 car.
Right? It's like synchronized swimmers, but dangerous and scary.
Synchronized spinning.
Yeah. Synchronized crashing a thing.
Doing the crashing without actually crashing.
What's the show? He's crashing with style. Is that SpongeBob?
I think so. As there's Justin Malillo taking a move to the inside of Matt Allen. That is for the 7th position. Malillo started 5th, currently working in the 7th spot. A little bit further behind him, Jamar Dumas now working on Tyler Cadd. Then he's going to set his sights now for the 52 of Jeff Dillon, who's in 10th. Well, I've heard ghost riding before, but that is not something I was expecting to see there. Or not expecting to see is, the 53 of Justin Malillo goes around.
Oh, big go around.
Tried to save it, wound up at least keeping it out of the wall.
Yeah. But it did trigger a yellow.
Gotta say, though, one heck of a save. Let's take one more look at that. As he's already sideways. Through the grass, saved it, snapped it back around, and iRacing puts the yellow flag out. So just like that, working our 3rd caution of the evening here at Richmond. Working lap 93. 3 cautions thus far. Only 2 lead changes, which is honestly surprising with the way the 54 and the 99 have been fighting quite hard back and forth.
But apparently it's just one of those days.
Technology is fun, isn't it? So Adam Stewart, the lucky dog. He'll bring himself back out on the lead lap. Don't forget, tonight's race is the Tax Smarter Accounting 160 here at Richmond. And Tax Smarter Accounting is a full-service accounting and tax company providing services to individuals, businesses, and nonprofits. They optimize your tax strategy to ensure you save on taxes. So make sure you contact them at chutchinsontax@gmail.com, or you can give them a call, 941-208-2594. All the info you need on the screen right about now. That's taxsmarteraccounting.net. So pace car pulls in the field back under the command of Philip Scott. Let's see what they can do. Here's a big wheel spin from the 99 as well as the 18. That's going to give the 54 a bit of an advantage on the top side as they're even down into turn 1. Out of turn 2, Philip Scott does slide in front of the 54, but they are nose to tail. No daylight between them. Here comes Bryce Hedgecock to the inside. Couple of angry Toyota Supras chasing down the Mustang.
The best kind of Supra.
And we'll see what they can do here into turn 3. Hedgecock has to back out of it. He's side by side now with Ethan Amberg. Meanwhile, though, as we ride on board with the 54 or the 99 of Philip Scott, oh, Hedgecock slings around to the inside, and we've got another yellow. Adam Stewart with some issues. He just got back on the lead lap.
Yeah, I wonder what happened there.
Well, let's take a look as he drives down to the inside with Jason Shu. A little bit of contact with the 3. And oh.
Oof. Nope.
Hard lick there for the 4 car.
It's always the crash followed by another sound like a crash you never want to hear.
Certainly not. Is there a little bit of contact between the 4 and the 3? And oh, big bounce there for the 3 of Jason Shu.
Yeah, that's when you wish you had trophy car suspension.
So now this is where things get interesting. Philip Scott, Bryce Hedgecock, and a couple other drivers duck onto pit road.
I got to imagine just like a splash of gas, right?
Let's see here what Philip does. No, it looks like he's taking at least right sides. Left sides there as well. Hedgecock down and away. Scott down and away.
So they did
But looks like
tires.
13 cars have stayed out. So Philip does lose 12 spots, but that's because 12 cars stayed out in front of him. Nick Simpson, the lucky dog. So that is going to relinquish the lead to the 54 of Nick Simpson, or of Ryan Shelton.
I guess we'll see if the new tires are enough to make up the difference.
Yeah, I mean, right now they're working lap 100, so they have 60 laps to go. That does mean now the 99 is going to be able to make it the rest of the way on fuel. And he's going to have almost 30 lap fresher tires than everyone else. So we'll see now if that all works out. Plus, we still do owe you the weltsclothing.com through the field. We'll take a look at that once we get back underway. Here in the Tax Smarter Accounting 160 at Richmond, pace car pulls off. Green flag in the air. Ryan Shelton gets a good jump. And he's going to clear Ethan Amberg on the outside. Here comes Martin Plute around the 14 of Amberg. And now Minazzi Major also takes a peek to the inside of the 14. 14 has a better drive out of the corner. They're side by side down the backstretch.
Yeah, Major going from the top all the way to the bottom. Nice Jersey slide to get down there.
Oh, and a little bit further back, they're 3 wide. Oh, look out. It's tight. There's in front, a little contact with Bookwald. As, contact. Philip Scott into the wall. The 31 in the wall. Hausman into the wall. And that is just the worst case scenario if you're Philip Scott.
Absolutely.
Let's take a look to see what exactly happened there, because I have no idea. It looks like Philip Scott got a good drive off. Oh, the 16 of CAD looks like he came up, got into the 39 or the 99. 31 was there. The 39 pinched into him as well.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of a pinball. One tap leads to a tap, leads to a tap, leads to 2 cars sideways.
Yeah, I think you could play the ding, 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 ding that you'd hear from the pinball machine.
Tilt.
Unfortunately, I mean, it looks like everyone pretty okay.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, Scott got the worst of that. Go back to the wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, wrong place, wrong time, bad luck kind of deal. As looks like Scott Leonard will be our lucky dog recipient this time through. So now working our 5th caution of the day after going almost half the race under green flag conditions. Now it's just a matter of everyone back up to speed, different tire strategies.
The thing I don't understand.
New tires better than old tires. Oh, Adam saying that is the end of the race for him. Tough break for Adam Stewart. Richmond one of those tracks that are just so difficult. Pace car pulls off back to green flag action. Ryan Shelton gets a great jump. He's going to go in front of the 81 of Martin Plute. Here comes Ethan Amberg to the inside. A little bit of retribution there for the 14 after not having a great run the last restart. But a little bit further back behind him, they're 3 wide into 3. Jeff Dillon to the inside, Malillo in the middle. As they're still trying to sort themselves out. Big gaggle of cars trying to figure out their positions. Matt Allen now centered in a 3 wide sandwich. Contact with Bryce Hedgecock, and around goes Allen.
Usually, this is the first few laps of the race, but like you said, this is a demanding track, and, you know, there's stamina involved to keep these things forward. Also, did the pit car just hit the wall?
You know, it might have. We'll have to add that to our replay here, but let's take a look to see what happened. There's the 46 of Allen. He's already kind of glued into the 18. Obviously, the 18 can't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
As he's stuck into the inside wall, and now they're just glued together. And the 11, oh man, 11 with some contact in the 31 of Hutchinson.
Yeah. Scott with a great save over there, man. He almost hit it again with that rear quarter panel. I think he missed it by like a few inches.
Man, and then just like that, looked like they're all able to kind of keep it rolling. Then we'll take a look to see what the pace car decides to do.
Yeah.
It looks like he might have gotten in the wall a little bit.
Someone test him for alcohol.
I mean, he's just kind of sitting there, so why not?
Crack a few. No, he's been very busy the last what, 30 laps or so?
That is true. So the action track lives up to its name, as looks like the 14 of Ethan Amberg all over the back bumper of Ryan Shelton there.
Next time we race here, I'm going to sponsor the race and call it the Action Park Action Track. It seems about the same amount of casualties.
Yeah. Start calling it Traction Park to really get the Jersey angle on it.
Right. Well, I bet everyone racing currently wishes there was more traction.
Yeah, I mean, taking a look here at the track info, the weather info, track temp has gone down, so grip is increasing. It was 109 at the start of the race. Salmon saying Bryce just needs to pull a Dale Jr. and rip the right front fender off. Keeps the tire cool, keeps the brakes cool. You know what? I'm in. I am totally down for that. Bryce currently back in P16 after that incident. He was fighting up in the top 10. So working lap 115 here at Richmond, the Tax Smarter Accounting 160. Pace car pulls off. Green flag out yet again. And this time again, that outside line just cannot get going. And yes, Sally Hammond said Mark McFadden gets the lucky dog. He sure does. So that'll put McFadden back on the lead lap, back in 19th. Meanwhile, up front, Tyler Cadd and the rest of the field really trying to fight this one out. There's Jeff Dillon and Manazzi Major side by side into the corner. A little bit further back, there is Bryce Hedgecock. Looks like he did not rip the fender off the right front, but car looks pretty good as of right now. He's trying to make it 3 wide, taking a peek to the outside around Jamar Dumas. Can't quite do it.
Well, that would be a good time to go through the pack, I guess.
Right?
Green, we're good.
Meanwhile, Philip Scott making it 3 wide there. He's working his way up. 30 lap fresher tires for the 99. Warm Snugs, great name, by the way. It says, come on, Bryce, put some duct tape, Elmer's glue, and some sweat and win this dang thing. Sorry I couldn't be there tonight. Little contact there for the 18 of Hedgecock. He's currently working around the outside of Brendan Buchwald.
It's interesting how high up the line has become for these guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's 40 laps to go. I don't think they're really thinking too much about saving tires. And they're just trying to go, 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 especially with the way these last few laps have been. A lot of yellows, a lot of incidents. But let's take a look now at the Welts through the field. Brought to you by Welts Clothing. WeltsClothing.com. Make sure you check them out online. Some great apparel, lifestyle apparel, paintball apparel, jerseys, hats, t-shirts, shorts. You name it, he's got everything here. Is Ryan Shelton currently running in first. He's led 90 of the 123 laps here tonight. And he has been having himself a night for sure. Behind him, putting the pressure on, is Ethan Amberg. Amberg currently in the championship hunt. P2 starting tonight. Currently running in P2. Justin Melillo just behind him. Melillo, you see there, started 5th, currently running in the 3rd position. And the driver to keep an eye out for right now is this guy in the 99 machine, Philip Scott. Started 1st, currently in 4th. Pitted about 25 laps ago before the slew of cautions. He's got about 30 lap fresher tires than the rest of these guys. So it's going to be interesting to see him work his way up methodically through the field. Just behind him, Martin Plute quietly having himself a great day. Currently in 5th, started 4th, and really has kind of floated around there all night long. There's Shane Ewing, started in 10th, up 4 spots since the start of tonight's race. Another guy just quietly churning laps, making moves, picking up. Now he's taking a look to the inside of Martin Plute. Behind him is Jeff Dillon. Dillon started 7th, running 7th, and again, been in the top 10 pretty much this whole evening, as he's now facing a little bit of a fight there from the 16 of Tyler Cadd. New look for the 16 car tonight. Tyler Cadd started 12th, currently running in the 8th position. And around him, one of the fan favorites tonight, Bryce Hedgecock, just involved in an incident a few laps ago, but the way he's driving, you could not tell. Currently running in the 8th position. And he's been running somewhere around 9th to 4th all evening long. One of the handful of Canadians out on the track currently, Brendan Buchwald, currently running in the 10th position, fighting for 9th alongside Tyler Cadd. Started back in 13th and moving his way up through the field. Biggest mover, though, by far, is this guy, the 39 machinist Stan Hausman. Started 23rd. One row in front of dead last, currently in the 11th position. And now putting some pressure on. Here comes Minazzi Major to the inside. Major in 12th, started 6th. And has been in this hornet's nest all race long. Another driver currently putting in some work. That's the 28 of Jamar Dumas. He and Ace House battle it side by side. Down 5 since he started the race, but still in it. Same deal here goes for the 47 of Ace House. He started 11th, currently in P13. Between 13th and 14th, fighting it out with Jamar Dumas. Tonight's sponsor, Corey Hutchinson, with TaxSmarterAccounting.net. Involved in a little bit of a tussle earlier on in the race. Car looks okay. And he's plugging along right now, up 7 spots since he started in 15th. Scott Leonard, another driver, is having himself a quiet but good night, currently running in the 16th position. Just behind him, there's Matt Allen. Allen involved in the most recent incident. Currently falling back just a little bit now, getting attacked by the 22 of Mark McFadden, one of the other Canadians here in the field. McFadden currently in 18th, started 17th. And then just in front of this group, there is the 3 of Jason Shu. Shu currently running in the 19th position. Looks like he is the first car 1 lap down. Started 24th, almost shotgun on the field. Currently running in 19th. Nick Simpson just behind him. In 20th, started 16th, had a black flag there for incident points. But he has since served that penalty, and he's back up and running. And then just behind him, last car within striking distance is the 36 of Steve Bevacqua. Started 18th, just had a couple of issues throughout the night. Didn't exactly have things going for him. And he's all the way back now in 21st position. 25 cars started the race. 21 cars within striking distance. Tim Branson, the only driver multiple laps down. He is still out on the track, but he is 11 laps in the rear. That'll do it for tonight's Welts Clothing Through the Field, brought to you by weltsclothing.com. Make sure you check them out online and get all your apparel, whether it's paintball, lifestyle, and then some. You can check them out, weltsclothing.com.
Good stuff.
I feel like I say it every night, but I do have my Welts Clothing tank top on. I'm actually looking at the Welts hat that I have staring at me from my closet.
He loves to see it.
Here's a good battle for the 4th position. It's Martin Plute taking a peek to the top side. 22 coming to 21 laps remaining. And after that little slew of cautions in the middle of the race, things have calmed down. I know I just jinxed it, but things have calmed down quite a bit since then. As Ace House got a little squirrely coming at it too. I want to give a quick shout to Quentin Sylvia and his family. Quentin unable to race tonight, dealing with some family issues, so thoughts with him and his family tonight. Hope everything is okay. sure he's cheering on his teammate Bryce Hedgecock here, currently running in P6.
Hope all is well.
Hedgecock right now getting a little bit of pressure from behind from Tyler Cadd. Very interesting diamond shape for these drivers. They did just race here in the next gen cars in the Speed Cup Series last Thursday. And I think this is one of those things where they can almost use Thursday's race as a bit of a primer to say, okay, well, the next gen cars raced like this. Why don't we try it out with these O'Reilly Series cars? And there was a lot of this line happening during the Highline Diecast Cup Series race, where everyone entered the corner high. Midway through, they swept down low, got a good drive out of the corner. So it's interesting to see those lines and those strategies kind of changing things up here as this race goes on, and drivers kind of using what they learned on Thursday to help them out here on Monday.
Yeah, it's interesting. I thought these cars were a little bit more different, but I should never know.
They are definitely very different cars. They drive entirely differently. I personally prefer the O'Reilly Series car over the Cup Series car. But lines and, thought processes and things like that certainly do carry over from one race to another.
Yeah, it makes sense. Also, I mean, how could you, as a Toyota driver, want to race a Camry over a Supra?
I mean, at least they have makes and models for their cars versus the Chevrolet is just the Chevrolet.
Listen, as someone who technically owns a GM product, even though it is through Acura, that just had the motor explode at 20,000 miles, I will not be racing a Chevrolet.
You know what? I don't blame you one bit. But my question is, did your car make the dreaded iRacing pop?
Honestly, it's as close as it could have gotten.
Oh, speaking of close trouble, Shane Ewing gets hooked around. He and the 39 of Stan Hausman came together. And that was just a matter of guys kind of being three wide, and well, this will change everything. Let's take a look to
race notes. We'll just never recover.
Yeah, that just kind of looked like a matter of two guys going for the same amount of real estate. Let's take a look now at the 82 of Minardi Major. But before we do that, actually, let's go back live, as there are a lot of race cars on pit road, Joe.
It looks like 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 people? 5 people did not, or has yet to pit. Looks like 4.
Yeah, it looks like the top 4-ish.
And out. So 5.
Ducking onto pit road, Martin Plute fastest off. Ryan Shelton loses 5 spots. Everyone there. Well, it looks like Martin Plute, Bryce Hedgecock, Justin Malillo, and Minardi Major. It says 4 tires.
Maybe no fuel?
There we go. Let's fix that. Looks like they did take 2 tires. So 2 tires and fuel. for them. Ryan Shelton and company all taken 4. So now the battle is going to be guys who didn't take anything and stayed out. Looks like that is just Brennan Bookwald. Martin Plute through Minazzi Major took 2 tires, and everyone else took 4. Jason Shue, the lucky dog there. Well, Joe, if you're seat belted in, make sure those belts are extra tight, because this one is this is gonna be fun. They'll go green with 8 laps remaining, and I think if I'm the 96, I am praying for an immediate yellow.
Yeah.
Green flag is out. Everyone keeps it clean so far. As now the 96 looks to throw a block. There goes the 53 of Justin Melillo to the inside. Melillo to the point. Here comes Shelton down low, 3 wide out of turn 2. Big battle into turn 3. Philip Scott running the high line, 3 wide, now 4 wide. As Hedgecock sideways, the 81 sideways, and here comes everyone else around. Yellow flag. Well,
Yeah.
that certainly changes everything. Let's see if we can't dissect what exactly happened there. As
there were so many.
the 18 got real sideways out of the corner, the 81 already spinning, and then the
Hamburg was
field
sideways.
just kind of coming together there.
The top 3 right next to each other over there, all
Oh, for
spinning.
Hardlick.
Scott looked like he got out though.
Hardlick there for the 32 as well. I'm intrigued now to see what happened to some of these guys. As we'll take a look here. Let's jump on board with the 52. Looks like the 52. Whoa, what a save.
What a save.
Holy cow, we got to see that one again. So everyone kind of coming together. 52 slows down. A little bit of tap there from the rear. Just
Man.
a little brush, but my goodness.
That shoulder really putting in work. He found the grip.
Yeah. All the way down on the runoff. As now we'll jump on board with Philip Scott here. As 18 was, or 81 already sideways, 18 sideways, the 99 into the 96. And around everyone else went. Do one more look here, this time from the POV of the 18 machine. He's already sideways, and oh, that's a scary sight.
Hi. Oh, okay.
But it looks like not a whole lot of drivers getting heavy contact and heavy damage.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was going about the same speed, so it was just a lot of bump, 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 bump. And thankfully, no one looked like they ran headfirst into a wall, so, you know.
Yeah, no dreaded pops either. So it looks like just Steve Mbakwa on pit road.
Melillo coming out as the winner of that one.
That is for sure as the pace car pulls off. Coming to lap 159, 3 laps remaining here at Richmond. 2 tires versus 4. And we'll see what happens here. Out of turn 2, Shelton there to the inside. Oh, the 19 of Scott Leonard goes around. A little bit more contact between the 53 and the 54. And another yellow as Scott Leonard goes around. And a meatball for the 19. Let's still take a look at that one more time. Leonard had a 2 just by himself. A little too much gas. Around he went. Oh, and he had some help too.
Yeah, oof.
With the dreaded pop and smoke. Adam Boislard saying save of the year candidate. That is for sure. So we are working our 9th caution this evening. 1 green-white checkered down. Believe there are 3 GWCs.
I know what that means.
3 green-white checkers. So the field takes the green flag, they go around, they take the white flag, and then they go around again and take the checkered flag. Steve Bavacqua, recipient of the Lucky Dog. Track temp going down some more.
I know you wouldn't know it from all the cautions, but there is grip out there.
Salmon saying he's obviously practiced the 5 Ds of dodgeball while saving that. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Yeah, with a whole lot of C, which is clenching.
Something, something, diamonds, something, something, something. So, overtime attempt number 2. Justin Malillo to the top side, Ryan Shelton down low. Malillo is the control car. He's going to lead the field up at the top side, up against the outside retaining wall. Into the restart zone he goes. Green flag is in the air. Will they need more, or will they just need 2? 53 cuts down in front of the 54. Side by side, a few cars back. Now Malillo playing defense hard, trying to block the 54 of Ryan Shelton. Shelton ducks down to the inside. Out of turn 4, white flag in the air. One more time around. Shelton gets to the inside. Here comes Philip Scott for 5th. Shelton not able to clear Malillo. They're side by side for the final time down the back straightaway. Ryan Shelton has the advantage. Out of turn 4, checkered flag is in the air. Ryan Shelton is going to win as they spin behind. And he did it by posting the fastest lap of the race.
Well, that's how you do it, right?
Holy cow, what a finish.
Man, talking about resilience, Scott going from, I think, 15th or 16th at some point, all the way back up to 4th.
Wow. So Ryan Shelton burns it down. It took a couple of overtimes. Took one heck of a battle, but Ryan Shelton is going to win the Tax Smarter Accounting 160 here at Richmond.
Nope.
And a pop to send the car off. Wow. What a finish. What a race. And let's see if we can move some of these drivers into the interview waiting room. Because, man, that was a fun battle.
Yeah, crazy finishes here.
Well, Joe, let's get started with our post-race interviews. I do believe you've caught up with our third place finisher, driver of the number 82 machine, Manazzi Major.
Hey, Manazzi, congratulations on the podium finish. We had some nice long run racing here, followed by a very chaotic second half of the race. Kind of walk us through what happened there.
Yeah, it was definitely a chaotic or like a tale of two halves, I guess. First half was really fun, a lot of good green flag racing, and the guys in the top 10 kind of stayed on top of each other that whole time, so it was a lot of fun to race with them. Second half of the race, I kind of got on the back foot because a lot of cars decided to pit at one of the earlier cautions. And that ended up being like the correct tire strategy for the rasher cautions that we got. So they started cycling to the front. I think Philip did it. I know Justin did. Some other guys. So I kind of started falling back, falling back. I found myself, I think, as far back as 12th or 13th, and then luckily avoided a couple wrecks. Came into pit towards the end. And took two tires just because I had lost so much track position. I figured I might as well gamble because I wasn't going to win from 12th with four tires. So I took two, came out sixth, and then avoided another wreck, came out fourth. And then from there, just kind of battled everybody to the win. I didn't have the speed that Ryan and Justin had. They were super fast all days. Congrats to Ryan on the win, but just happy to come away with a P3.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this is our first time chatting with you here, so big victory here, at least a big podium finish. Do you feel like you could carry this momentum into the next race?
I hope so. Usually I'm not too great at like the flat tracks or the short tracks. I think we're at New Hampshire next, which is another kind of similar deal. I was terrible in the cup race here on Thursday, so I'm surprised to even have like the pace to be in the top 10 in this race. So that was a pleasant surprise. So I'm hoping that next week it'll be a little bit more of the same, and I'm able to have another podium finish, hopefully.
Absolutely. Well, practice makes perfect, right?
Yes,
Before we
definitely.
let you go, I'm sure you got some shout outs for us.
I mean, mostly I'll shout out TNR for having me. It's been a lot of fun this season. This was my first time running with everybody here. Well, not everybody here. A lot of them run in speed as well, but everybody that I haven't run with and everybody that runs the league and stuff, it's been a lot of fun. You guys at Tabletop Trio, I'm gonna go back and watch the broadcast for sure. So, yeah, just everybody involved with the league. It's been a lot of fun
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again, and hopefully we'll be chatting with you next week.
for sure.
All right. That is our third place finisher, Manazzi Major. I'm now joined by our second place finisher, driver of the number 53 machine, Justin Malillo. And, well, Justin, a big battle there at the end in the overtime finish. Anything you think you could have done differently to try to keep that 54 behind you?
Well, you know what? It's my first podium here in this TNR. O'Reilly car. You know what? It's weird because this is my best finish ever, and at the same time, I can't help but be disappointed. Right? It's uh, it's a little bittersweet where everything that could have went wrong in this race, and yet I still ended up with a chance to possibly win it. And caution falls a certain way on that overtime. It might be a little bit different, but I can't frown too much at a second place effort, especially considering how terrible I am in the B car. So yeah, I tried starting that two-stop strategy early in the race. Caution came out, trapped me. I got a lucky caution, ended up taking tires around halfway, and just that 10 lap difference was incredible. And I was able to slice through the field and got up to Martin. And I haven't looked at the replay yet, so I really don't know what happened, whether I came up or he came down or what it was. But ended up spun out there going into one, and I knew I couldn't take tires again because if I took those tires, that was it. I had no more tires for the rest of the race. So uh, I bucked up, and I got back up to the top five on slightly spun tires, and caution there late. I think I was destined for a seventh place finish if it went green to the end, but I figured why not? Let's do a two-tire call. And um, I I don't know who that was driving the car there on that restart there with the 96 on the restart leading and the 81, but that certainly wasn't something that I'm used to doing. And that was the loosest car that I've probably driven um in a long time with the tire offset. So um held on to it. Ryan gave me a shot on the next restart, and I knew I couldn't give the bottom, or I couldn't give the top to him. I had to give him the bottom. And thankfully, when he hit me, the caution came out right away again. So one more well-timed caution, I might be talking to you as a winner tonight. But you know what? This car, short tracks, Justin Malillo second, I will take any day of the week.
That is for sure. And, Justin, I also wanted to ask, since you do race in the Highline Diecast Cup Series, obviously the A car and the B car, two very different cars to drive. But do you think, having already raced here on Thursday, do you think that helped you at all just kind of get set up for this race?
It's weird because the cars are so vastly different, and I am much more attuned to driving the A car than the B car. Even though I think the B car is a much more fun car to drive than the A car, but I just seem to have a grip better on the A car than the B car. But I was watching one of my teammates run NIS a couple of I guess it would have been a week ago at this point, and I took some notes on how he was driving the A car, completely threw those out of the window on Thursday night, and ran absolutely terrible. I think I ended up 27th in that race. And then I was like, okay, maybe some of that might apply to this B car, and it kind of did. I don't think I was gonna be on a winning strategy in any point tonight, if it would have stayed green or in any situation. But I felt like in that first run was the best that I've ever saved tires on a short track in this car. So shout out to my buddy Seth, and appreciate you guys for putting on the broadcast. Appreciate everybody here at TNR and Speed and Tabletop Trio for putting this all on.
Awesome. Well, Justin, congrats on the podium finish. Congrats on the second place finish. And hopefully we'll be chatting with you next week after New Hampshire.
Thank you, Bob.
All right. That's Justin Malillo, our second place finisher here tonight at Richmond Raceway. And I do believe Joe has made his way down to victory lane to catch up with our winner, driver of the number 54, Ryan Shelton.
Hey, Ryan, congratulations on the big win tonight. You led, I believe, over 100 laps before all of this chaos happened. but you still managed to get back up it and take the win. Can walk us through your race?
Yeah, that was probably the most fun I've had in a car for a while. The first run was intense with Philip. Just going back and forth with him and trying to figure out how passing worked here and how to defend. And it really seemed like it was really hard to pass on the bottom. So as long as you were up top, it was a lot easier to hold your spot. Um, and that came into play later on that last little green white checkered um, with me and Justin. I went to the top on our first green white checkered and slammed into the back of him. Luckily, the caution came out as soon as that happened. So I think that really saved my race because if that yellow doesn't come out, I think Plute runs away from it because we were both sideways going into a corner. And I don't think I was going to be able to have enough time to catch back up to him. Other than that, it was a wild race between that, especially that second half. Everybody's on different tires. You don't know who's where, or you don't know who's quick. And Ethan and Philip start racing each other, and they push back. And when that yellow comes out, I didn't know whether to take 2 or 4, so I took 4 because I figured the wheel spin was going to be a little too much to hold on 2 tires. So I just took 4 and just hope and prayed, and sure enough, it was a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. So taking a win tonight is really fun.
Absolutely, yeah. You were talking about the 2 versus 4. We just had Justin on, and he was saying, he took the 2. He wish he took the 4.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I mean, you're coming down pit road, you're thinking, 2 or 4, and Richmond with it being as tire heavy and as uh, rear grip limited as it is, I really felt like 4 tires was the way to go. Last week we did 2, and it didn't work out as well as I'd hoped, but um, this week, taking 4 and it worked out a whole lot better than I thought it was going to work.
Absolutely, and just as the race went on, you were getting more comfortable. Usually, we see these cars slow down. Your last lap of this race, you actually set the fastest lap
Yeah,
of the
yes,
race.
that's those brand new tires. I mean, genuinely, like when we got that's only the second time or third time I was on new tires. The first time I was trying to save, and the second time we're trying to save. So, um, that's how much slower we were going when we're trying to save tires, and um, especially when you got a long run coming, you're going to baby them a lot more. So, um, between that and the way the track was rubbering up and this, that, and the other. So, yeah, I'm not too surprised by my last lap setting the fastest lap. And also, when you're trying to race for the win, you're throwing everything to the wind.
Absolutely. And before we let you go, I'm sure you got some shout outs for us.
No, just thank y'all for doing this, and thanks to the Speed guys for putting this on.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again, and hopefully we'll be chatting with you next week.
Yeah, hopefully so.
All right. That's Ryan Shelton, our winner tonight here at Richmond. Man, Joe, what a finish. What a phenomenal race in general. Man, that was a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I said in the beginning it was going to be a good race.
And it definitely definitely paid off. That is for sure. Let's get a look at the results for tonight's race. It's the Tax Smarter Accounting 160 here at Richmond. Ryan Shelton gets the win over Justin Melillo and Manazzi Major. Philip Scott comes back to a 4th place finish. Martin Plute comes home 5th. Tyler Cadd in 6th. Jeff Dillon comes home 7th, with Ace House spinning across the start finish line coming home 8th. Stan Hausman, biggest mover of the race, the hard charger. He picked up 14 positions since the start of the run. Ryan Shelton leads 119 laps. Fastest lap average is is Ethan Hamburg with a 22.817. 4 different leaders, 4 green flag lead changes, 9 cautions in total. And we'll take a look now at the rest of the field for tonight's race. Jamar Dumas comes home in 11th, Brennan Bookwald 12th, Ethan Amberg in 13th, Mark McFadden 14th, Jason Chu comes home 15th, Bryce Hedgecock in 16th, Steve Bavacqua 17th, Shane Ewing 18th, Corey Hutchinson 19th, Scott Leonard comes home 20th, 5 laps down. Nick Simpson 21st, Tim Branson 22nd, Adam Stewart 28th, Ray Payne Jr. 24th, and Robert Tripp brings us out of our 25 car field. Wow, what a finish, what a race. I am already looking forward to racing next week at New Hampshire.
Absolutely. If it's anything like this, we're going to be in for a good one.
That is for sure. So if you like what you see, make sure you subscribe to us here on YouTube on the Tabletop Trio Podcast Network. You could join us next Monday night, right around 8:30 Eastern, as we get ourselves ready to race up in New England at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Tonight's race has been the Tax Smarter Accounting 160, presented by our friends at Tax Smarter Accounting. They are your full-service accounting and tax company, providing services to individuals, businesses, and nonprofits. They optimize your tax strategy to ensure you save on your taxes. Give them a call. You can contact them at chutchinsontax@gmail.com. You can call them 941-208-2594, or visit them online at taxsmarteraccounting.net. So for one final time, I am Bob.
I'm Joe.
And this has been the Tax Smarter Accounting 160 from Richmond. Have a great night.